လူခဲ့တဲ့ရက်တွေကဖွင့်ပွဲကာလမှာနှုတ်ခွန်းဆက်စကားနောက်နေ့တွေမှာတော့မြတ်စွာဘုရားဟောထားတဲ့ဒေသနာစဉ်အတိုင်းအနုပုပ္ပိကထာဆိုတာပေါ့လောကုတ္တရာဆိုတာကလွယ်ကူတဲ့ကုသိုလ်ကစပြီးတော့ပေါ့လေတဖြည်းဖြည်းမိမိပြီးတော့တက်သွားတော့ရှေ့တက်ယူတာစာသင်တဲ့အခါမှာစလုံးကြီးစတင်တယ်လို့ပေါ့လေအတန်တော်ကလေးစတင်တယ်လို့နောက်စလုံးပေါင်းလေးတွေဖတ်တော့ဝါကြတို့လေးတွေဝါကြအရှိကြီးတွေအကြောင်းအရာတွေနဲ့ပတ်သက်ပြီးတော့ရေးသားထားတဲ့ဟာတွေပေါ့လေတဖြည်းဖြည်းအဲ့ဒါလိုကျွမ်းကျင်သွားတာပဲမိမိဘဝဖြစ်စဉ်ကိုဖြူစေတတ်တဲ့ကုသိုလ်တရားတွေထဲမှာဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဒါနကုသိုလ်ဟာအလွယ်ကူဆုံးပါပဲမြတ်စွာဘုရားဟာပုဂ္ဂိုလ်တ attva တွေနဲ့တွေ့တဲ့အခါလွယ်ကူတဲ့ကုသိုလ်ပြုဖို့ကအစပါတယ်မိတ်ကြတော်မူပါတယ်အဲဒီမြတ်စွာဘုရားဟောကြားတဲ့ဒေသနာစဉ်ကိုကြည့်ပြီးတော့ဘုန်းကြီးတို့တွေလည်းပဲတဝကတပည့်ပြီးပေါ့လေနောက်ကနေလိုက်ပြီးတော့ဆွမ်းနေသူများလေးအခုလိုပြိတ္တနဲ့ဂျုံတဲ့အခါမှာခွင့်ညွှန်ရတာပါပဲဓမ္မလက်ဆောင်တွေပြရတာပါပဲအဲတော့ပထမနေ့တွေကဒါနပုံညနဲ့ศีลပုံညပေါ့လေအဲ့ဒါလေးတွေအချင်းချုပ်တော့ပြောပြီးပါပြီ
On the opening day, Sayadawgyi greeted the yogis, and in following days, Sayadawgyi has spoken in the order that the Buddha usually followed, called progressive speech, anupobikata. The Buddha would start with good deeds that are easy to do, and then go from there to speak about gradually higher and higher level types of good deeds. When one studies, one starts out by learning the alphabet, and from there one learns to spell words, read words, and then make short sentences, longer sentences, and bit by bit one becomes skilled in reading. So among good deeds, or kusala, which make our life clean, dana, or generosity, is the easiest. And when the Buddha met with beings, he would start with speaking about this easy type of good deed. Seeing how the Buddha spoke progressively about kusala, good deeds, going from easy to more and more high level, Sayadawgyi has been speaking in the same manner as he gives the audience the Dhamma gift. And so in the first days, Sayadawgyi has spoken about the purifying deed of dana, generosity, or dana, punya, and also the purifying deed of morality, sila, punya.
Dana ကိုပိပိသသပြုလို့ရှိရင်အထူးမတောင်းတရဘဲနဲ့ပေါ့လေလူတွေမှာပြည့်စုံမှုအောင်မြင်မှုရဲ့အရင်းကအကြောင်းတွေဖြစ်သွားတော့အခြေခံအကြောင်းရင်းတွေပေါ့လေဒီမှာအခြေခံအကြောင်းရင်းဖြစ်ပုံကတော့အလူဒါနပြုလုပ်တော်မယ်ဆိုရင်ပစ္စည်းပေါ်မှာကိုယ်ပိုင်ပစ္စည်းပေါ်မှာတွေ့တာမှုကင်းတယ်လို့မပြောပါလို့တဲ့လောကီကျိုးလည်းမမျောနာမည်ကြီးကျင်တာလည်းမပါ The Gogong San Loba, the Kindora, you, Pisu, to Damu Loba, Kindora. The Gogong San Loba, the Kindora. A little dana view. The Gogong San Loba, Kennedy, Tidana, Mimete Dana, Kitora. Mita Pare, Modi Doda Kenne, Kinamu Pare, yesterday Doda Kenne. Daleve, in a corner, a look by the water. City, Matain, hello, Doda, Longelo, Yari, Tata, Piata, Nizera, Manalo, Domuri, Miavido, Pelu Piesiloda. Dodari Longavido, Dumiago, Lena, Nara Lera, Darilla Benina Machine, no, Babulo Lesoro. They're not using Kalaga. Fedabogo, Josie Walulare, Shipman and Medari, Tarely. Gina the Narelli. Here they actually can't have. Kona being Kojoyarate, Sura being Soviarate, Sure. Jushi, she, Timothy, Chinlane, Adinia, Lea, Shidaro. Kamya Maumi Solution, do Tamatare, Jordai. Yisiga na Levido, Mona Logoli. 3 times more. Chepia Yogi, Missing Jay, and Miwa Jay, searching the Rita Mini Jay. Go up Malo. Take the Katalam Shido, go Malamanado to the Valley of Amtigato. That is the one you are at Etinia, Lea de Yachiva. Piatade Lama die Shofo. A beginner Lama die Shofo. Lubida or Girote Lama die Shofo. Goma Ajima Jafo, Jim Javido Durvalia Matigaya or Budaga, Shigan Lamani Biatara, take on now. The Lama die Shawame Shaw Yamimi, Ajima Jafu Durvalia Matiga Buzra body. The Luham Yuri body. Naguatinia sheet haro. The Dana. Imyate Dana Pietave, Luda Miasura body. Hello, Tina Chita de Bogoha. Children so got a view, Muribody, go view, no view. It had a 10 year old. Take on now. It had Luda Miasura, Tamio, to go ring Chiga, a chinty carry, Mamma Babi Melo. A chinty carry, Kibuya at wet. Chiga, Johnny Pidore.
If we do dana in a thorough way, there's no need for us to wish or ask for any special results from it, because it becomes the basis for our happiness. How is this? If we do dana, generosity, act of giving, that is free of attachment to the thing that we are giving, without any expectation for return, without any desire to become famous as someone who can give, then this act of giving is free of selfish greed. And this type of giving, or dana, because it is free of selfish greed, is very high level. So when we add to this loving kindness or the desire for other people's welfare, then there won't be any hatred. And when we add compassion, the wish for others to be relieved of suffering, then one will be free of cruelty. So this type of dana is very good. When one can't control one's mind, then extreme greed causes us to do wrongful acts for our own selfish interest, to take what doesn't belong to us, to take things of all types, to steal, to commit adultery, and so on, to lie for our own benefit. And also when anger is out of control, we go to the extent of harming others. We lie in order to harm others. We steal in order to harm others. So when we do dana in a systematic way, then we don't fall and we don't give in to these tendencies. Because when we're doing dana systematically, we establish loving kindness and compassion as part of our doing dana, the wish for others to be well and the feeling of compassion for them. So when we add to this the knowledge of what is beneficial to do and what is not beneficial to do, what is suitable and what is not suitable to do, then this is like being able to drive a car, keeping within our lane, knowing the rules of the road, reducing speed when we go around curves, when we come to an intersection with a green light, we can go ahead. When we come to an intersection and the light is yellow, then we should proceed with caution. And when there's a red light, we should come to a stop. This is what the knowledge of what is beneficial and suitable is like. And when this knowledge is involved with our act of giving, then because we know how to do dana, the dana we do is very excellent. And people who have this knowledge of what is beneficial and not, what is suitable and not what is not, are able to control their greed and anger easily. So although dana is not part of morality, it's not included within sila, but it is a cause for us learning how to keep sila.
Edilu dana myuha luri jai nire shanta myuru ye yinga ajaw ne dilu sotha pare da mamare dana pyuti ngala ga chulun soga hu to phe song yauk de loba dosa moha ri ga kin tin de ro Tampu, Komu, Gamatangyamu, Lehu, Miesua, Taushumu, that it in the other Luedore. Dana Majuta, Dhamma Lolo Puye, Pubi may look on a lower Pame Mitagru Namapau, Tiamapau, Soliciano, Ether Chifu, Malueva. Dana Julian Sogan, the person out there. Lungere lower to the Moharia, Kin and Navy, Edrudana Muha, Tila, Poya, Pipuya, Dwe, a yin of Pitore. The Yamata Sense Vido Saint Sitari Tanshemo Panadi Pada Pulu say. You are busy by Silu, Kamatonga, say, Linia, say, Muisua, Tochin, say. It is said, Pia on Sovido. Mimi Seku, I am Kurema. Suzu Sisi, Pubidoboli, Kaguera, Kuzara, the Mariteka, Eddie Kutori, Pipuya, never a young of Pietore. Eriama to say, Vido. Yona the woman in Jojo Sepo. Eh? Whether any season Davido and also never will meet the Yan Tivoli. Era a young upset order. Davalo Jangamyama Dana Nama Sukhana Nidana Lodilo Sotavade Senijare Dana Pidare Dana Ha Chanda Yumuro yet a yinga Jome Dana Dilajan Bori Yatavi Solushi Adi Buama Sauni Pilere Menamangabu Sauni Pilevi Solushi Pileniro to say Muri level to Shonora Dilari Tayada Luedora Sini Sitari Tanshi beautiful Luedora Diama to say with a thing and a theme on the people had a Lugudara. Now Danaha to a Kujitia Mapavi Melo Lurima Pizon did a yari Pizon ya duet a Chonyama Vere to a Chana Yazia Chonyama Vere. Tiro Chanda Lure Pogoria Danago Puluchi Pida or low to the day by Yavadama. Eh, Dana Pida Lucia Konakujitia, the Kona would have each other.
That type of dana is the root cause for happiness, the type of happiness that people like. And this is true because when one does dana systematically, then metta, loving kindness, karuna, compassion, unselfishness, all these are present. So for such a person who's developed this habit, it's easy to refrain from acts such as killing, stealing, and adultery. So if when we are doing dana, we make ourselves free of extreme lobha, greed, extreme dosa, anger, extreme moha, delusion, then this dana becomes the basis for us to keep sila, keep morality, basic good morality. And from there, one has the desire to keep one's mind clean. That is, to not just be free of acts of killing and stealing, but to be free of the desire to kill, to be free of the desire to the mental tendency to steal or commit adultery, lie, take drugs. So because of one's basis in loving kindness and compassion, one then works to develop a clean mind by developing the training of concentration, by putting one's mind onto a single object so that it is focused. So in this way, dana is the root cause for us doing the good deed of developing the training of concentration. And from here, having gained the basis in concentration, one works to develop knowledge. So in this way, dana is also involved as a cause that leads to us developing knowledge. And that's why it's said in the text that this dana is the root cause of all types of happiness. Systematic dana brings about happiness on many levels. And if we perform dana, then the result is that we have enough materially. When we're born in the human realm and we've done dana in the past, then we have enough to eat, we have enough clothes to wear, we have enough to live on, and therefore we don't feel inferior because we have enough materially. And for us then, it's easy for us to keep morality. And with sila as our base, then it's easy to develop a stable mind, to control the mind, and from there to develop knowledge. So therefore, although dana, generosity, is not considered part of moral training, it's not part of sila, but it is a cause for happiness to arise. And if we're going to do dana, it's something that we should do well.
Dana pyusin kara ga asun yaude lowa roda mwa ri kin ni do ko mu naw mu sin je bi so lo shi yin ko mu naw mu sin je de atwet di bwa ma le be lu pi da aw ni da thain tat twa de saw ni ya pye le ni do ku ji riya kaw mu le lwe twa de nga ba di la thai mu le lwe twa de lwe twa de edi nga ba di la pye so lo shi di bwa ma beလူပိသတာပဲအဲ့လိုလူပိသမှုရဲ့အရင်းကအကြောင်းလည်းဖြစ်တော်တယ်သူကတော့ဟိုကအခြေခံအကြောင်းဒါအရင်းကအကြောင်းဒီမှာတစ်စစ်ဆက်လိုက်လို့ရှိရင်တိလာရင်ဘုံခဲနဲ့ပေါ့လေဇာနေအားထုတ်လို့ရှိရင်ဗြဟ္မာဖြစ်နိုင်တယ်ဗြဟ္မာဘုရားဒီမှာတစ်ဆင့်ဆက်ပြီးတော့ပေါ့လေဒါနတွေပြုပြီးတော့သီလတွေပြည့်စုံမယ်ဆိုရင်လူလောကမှာပေါ့လေအရှင်တန်မြင့်မြင့်ပေါ့လေအုတ်ချိုရေးပိုင်းကအကြီးအကဲတွေဖြစ်နေတယ်တထေးတကြွယ်တွေလည်းဖြစ်နေတယ်ဘောလုံးမြောက်ရေးအတွက်အထုတ်လို့တဲ့ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်တွေဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဘုရားဖြစ်လို့တဲ့ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်တွေပြည့်စုံကဖြစ်လို့တဲ့ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်တွေယန္တာဖြစ်လို့တဲ့ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်တွေဟာရည်ရွယ်ချက်ကောင်းကောင်းနဲ့ဒါနပါရမီဖြည့်ကြတာပဲဒါနပါရမီတွေဖြည့်လို့ဘဝမှာပေါ့လေစောင်းနေပြည်လဲပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်သီလပါရမီတို့စသည်ပေါ့လေပါရမီ10ပါးလည်းဖြည့်ဖို့လွယ်သွားတာပဲဖြည့်လို့ရှိရင်သူတို့လူကျင်တဲ့ဘဝရတော့တာပဲကိလေသာမှာလွတ်မြောက်လို့တဲ့အခြေအနေရှိလို့ချင်းကိလေသာလုံးရောက်လို့တဲ့အနေအထားတွေရောက်သွားတာပဲအဲဒါလိုပြည့်စုံအောင်မြင်မှုတို့ရဲ့အရင်းခံတဲ့ဒီဒါနကသဗ္ဗတိနာမူလလို့ဒီလိုကျမ်းဂန်များမှာပြပါတယ်ဒီတော့ဖက်ဖက်ကအောင်မြင်တဲ့ဘဝပြည့်စုံလို့တဲ့ဘဝလိုလားတဲ့ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်တွေဟာအဲ့ဒါဖြစ်စေနိုင်တဲ့ဒါနကိုပြီးတော့အောင်လုပ်ပဲဒါရှိတာပဲပြည်သားအောင်လုပ်လို့ရှိရင်ပြည့်စုံတဲ့ဟာတွေပြည့်စုံလာမှာပဲပထမလူပြည်သားကိုပဲနဝတိလာလုံနေဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဒါလူပြည်သားတာပဲ
When we do dana that is with a mind that is free of extreme greed, hatred and delusion, and our physical and verbal behavior are clean, then we are able to live like a true human being. And because we have enough materially, it is easy for us to keep the 5 precepts. Therefore, dana is the cause for us to be able to keep the 5 precepts. With a basis in sila, if we work to develop the jhanas, we can then on rebirth, we can gain a lifetime in the Brahma worlds. So, and if dana, if we perform dana, in addition to sila, keeping good basic human morality, the result of that is that if we're born in the human world, we can become leaders. We can become rulers. We can become rich people. We can be at the higher levels of society. And for those who have a foundation in dana and sila and enter the monastic life, for example, one can become a noble person. One can even become an arahant. So when we do dana, that results in us having enough materially. And having enough materially, it's easy for us to keep sila. And these are the first two of the paramis, it's easy then to go from there to fulfill the remaining paramis or perfections. So when one fulfills the paramis, then one is able to gain the type of life one wants. So that's why it's also said that dana is the root cause for fulfillment. One who wants a fulfilled life should perfect dana. But first of all, one must keep good sila so that one is truly human.
Biro di dana piliya buwa mawali. Turuba luwati hari piso sejene sirunaga kongdala. Ati nyane babi solusiye edi yauya buwa ma. Boga sura sadung ziyari bo. Nizia tang ziyari. Biro awete sawa tawfere. Sha ke ariyo zabra tongso zia pisi ri bo le dama. Era rego boga lo khaware. Edi sadung ziyari ye tawya diyari phit de lo so bare. Khangai mama bo le edi ha re yo yashi nain ne so de adaibai myo ba ba dama. Tu mya lo sin nauk sin ye angeda myo mashi bu so de adaibai bo da bo.
In whatever lifetimes occur, this type of dana, because to the extent that one has the desire that other people be fulfilled, that their needs be fulfilled, if one has that type of intention when one gives, then this intention or cetana brings us fulfillment of in material ways, bhoga sampatti. So this means, in terms of a place to live, clothing, food, possessions. Dana our intention in doing dana brings about this type of material result. And this is, our dana supports gaining materially. So it's a strong support for us to have material possessions. So in that case,
dana shingo ketin thara be sauni pile biro myana mangaya aw na edlo so bare sirana kaw yin kaw dalo edi sirana ha alega phit ma twa bu ati nya le pa bi metta karuna le pa bi so lo shi edi dana myo garo po bi do ko thette tan a chou pe bare dama. Edro loba doda moha kele siktari phi aw lo hlung so je sirana bo ni. Lu de akha myo ma le tan tan shin hlu ni aw hlung so je sirana. Edi sirana alega phit ma twa bu. Edi sirana le ga a chou pe da be. Myana ma ngaya aw phandi pe da be. Be phima ga ma la bi do a chou pe pe da mo be de ja ma la bi do pe da mo pe na ga la pe da mo. Ko le la bi Allah ga le la ma pe bu. Ko sirana ba ko phandi pe da be dama eda na le ya ba le. Edlo na le la haပြုလုပ်တဲ့ကံဤပြုလုပ်တဲ့ကံအဲ့ဒီကံရဲ့အကျိုးကိုယုံကြည်တာတဲ့အဲ့ဒါကာမစက္ကတသမာဓိဋ္ဌိခေါ်ပါတယ်ကိုပြုထားတဲ့ကံကကိုယ့်အကိုအကျိုးပေးတာကောင်းရင်ကောင်းကျိုးမကောင်းရင်မကောင်းကျိုးရမယ်ဆိုတော့အဲ့ဒီအသိစိတ်တက်ကလေးပေါ့လေအဲ့ဒါလေးကအ Chubira, Kamasura, Samadhi Kore. Luyelu Pilla Visulushi, Eddie Kamasura, Samadhi, a day.
So being fulfilled materially means that we don't have any need to feel inferior. And being in this type of situation is the work of dana, is the work of the generous acts that we've done. So it's said that dana is something which saves us. It's like a savior in a way. And that's a saying. And to the extent, what happens is that to the extent our intention or cetana is good when we do dana, this doesn't go to waste. It's not for nothing. Our strong intention, wholesome intention, makes the results of our dana even better. So when we want the other person, the recipient, to be free of suffering, when we don't have expectation for good results for ourselves. Before we give something, we cut off our attachment to that thing, and we have in mind the other person's welfare. While we're giving the act, we also have these good qualities in mind. So this type of dana is what this type of intention that takes place both as we get ready to do the dana and while we're giving the gift itself. This intention bears fruit. It makes us full. It brings us good results, and the good results that we experience aren't brought about by any god. They're not brought about by Saka, the king of the gods. They're not brought about by Allah or by any type of other being. It's our own intention that creates the results we experience. And to understand this is the right view of kama as our own property, kama sakata samadeti. That is the understanding that one's actions with intention bring results for better or for worse. And for human beings, this understanding of karma and its results is extremely important.
Kababoshi Ludariha, Ludamanyaha, Edi Kamasgara Samadhiha, she will take each year. Popular letter to a Sony Pianello, a song to the English junction body, junction pianello. Kaune Konusita Julia, Konjuya, Sore, Macaune Konusitaria, Maconjuya, Raboli, Tilutisita sheet haro. Macauna shall widow, Kaune Harry, Yuevido, Lotapuya, to Shega, Mula, Ati, Mini, Pietrovare. That day, Yechivare, Eddie Chiga, Tishida Bogoa, Kuna Janshiha, Dia Nevidovoli, Languele Shidawa, Dia Nepia, Languele Pietrovare. Lupida Lude Bogoria, Madia Muri Shaw, Shet Joe Shibiro Shaw. Tamuko Sajire Sana Zebi Shivia Shaw. It a Kamasaka Samadhiya Quedor. Mashauna, go level to Mupida, Udurvala, go to the Tigate. No one appeared as a tower, Jacuba Mabe, Kuma Chimpia to the Valley, go to the Tigate. Checheme Luya Bueno. Shawnelo she take on what is in Nalia. Era Kamasaka Samadhi and a queer about them. Kona be conjured the Surabu, so yet at the Suraboli. It is langue. At the Rutila appears on La Visoloshi. Comuno, a yaine, Kenny, Padamaso Lupita Lada, Lupita or Pilopita, very well. Era Dana Putalu Tila Tiara, Luebon Lady, Babe.
Everyone on this planet, for everyone, it's very important to have the understanding that our actions are our own property. And the reason for this is that this knowledge is like a junction. The understanding that wholesome physical, verbal, and mental actions bring about good results, whereas things done, said, or planned and so on with bad intention bring about bad results. With this understanding, then we will choose the things that bring good results. So this is a basic understanding from which paths branch out. So for one who wants to be a true human being, then one avoids misdeeds either through shame and fear regarding doing things like killing, stealing, and so on, or through an understanding of how these things feel to other people. And that is what we do if we want to be truly human. If we don't avoid these actions, killing, stealing, and so on, then our morality becomes broken and other people are harmed. And even in the present life, we experience the bad results of this, let alone any future lifetime. One who commits such acts, killing, stealing, and so on, is no longer considered human. And on the other hand, if we avoid these acts, it's very good. So what makes the difference is the understanding that when we do good, say good, plan good things, it brings good results. Likewise, when we do, say, plan bad things, they bring bad results. So this understanding of karma as our own property makes the difference. If our morality is complete, then if we keep morality without breaking it, then we'll be free of coarse, wild behavior and we'll be truly human. So this is how, when we are able to do dana, it becomes easy for us to keep sila.
Tamu komu sashi abuse ha Ninyane abuse soraboli Tishi Bido ho shone like it. Julung Juna Roma, Junu shone like it. Go nita, no nitalia, chuja daughter. Pioza gaze a pilekin daughter. Either go nita, no nitalia, chuja ha. A nizo a jonga rock. Go no Julung Kilushi, Shesiave, Josiave. Unit Jopte, Hidi Otava, Era, and his own jonga. Eddie in his own jonga, Shonata, Belocon. Eddie in his own jon. Cut lily, a shade of she lily. Matiamurego, Mapilo Willia. Good and known at Julian Sogara Rivoli. Say that, say that she only need a rubber. Go, Taino, Julum whom hero, to the valley go to a bar, Matigato, Pelocon the rest of the keyboard.
With the basic knowledge with this knowledge as a basis that killing, stealing, these acts are base and low, knowing this, one avoids them. And then one's actions and speech become suitable. They become free of blame. And the nearest cause for us to keep good moral behavior, avoid these misdeeds, is the understanding that if we do these things, it's shameful. If we do these things, it's fearful. Do acts such as killing and stealing. So this is the nearest cause for us to undertake sila. And with the qualities of shame and fear regarding immoral deeds, regarding harming others, then we control ourselves. And therefore we don't cause any harm to others. So this is quite good.
အခြေခံသီလလုံးဝမရှိဘူးဆိုလို့ရှိရင်အဲ့ဒီမရှိတဲ့ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်ဟာသူ့ဘဝဖြစ်စဉ်ကနေပြီးတော့ဗောလေအမှန်အနတ်ဆိုးတဲ့ညှိတဲ့ပုတ်တဲ့အနတ်နေထွက်လာတယ်ဖြစ်နေတာပဲအပုံနဲ့ဘယ်သူမှမခံနိုင်ဘူးသီလတွေပြည့်စုံပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်သူ့ရဲ့တဏ္ဍာကကောင်းတဲ့တရင်လေးတွေလူအချင်းကောင်းတယ်ဆိုတာပဲကောင်းတဲ့တရင်လေးတွေထွက်လာတာပဲယနတ်နေကမှုှကြင်တဲ့အရနဲ့ထွက်လာတာပဲအဲ့တော့သီလပြည့်ရင်အပုံနဲ့ထွက်တယ်သီလပြည့်စုံရင်မှုှကြင်တဲ့အနတ်ထွက်တာပဲသီလရဲ့နာမှုှပြန်ကြိုင်းစွာဆိုတာပါလေဒါပေါ့သီလဟာလူတွေအဖို့အကောင်းဆုံးအစဉ်တန်းစာပဲဘယ်လောက်ပဲလူတွေကအဖို့ထားအစဉ်တန်းစာတွေဝတ်ထားဘယ်လောက်ပဲလှပဝတ်ထားအကျင့်ပြက်ပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ကြည့်မကောင်းဘူးကိုကြီးတရားအခြေခံရှိတာလို့ရှိရင်တန်ယုံလောက်တသက်ရလေးဝတ်ထားလို့ရှိရင်လှနေတာပဲကြည့်လို့သိအတည်ရှိတာပဲတမသီလစင်တိုင်းရှူတိုင်းလှပါတဲ့သီလစင်တန်းစာကိုရှင်းပြထားလို့ရှိရင်ကြည့်ရတာလှနေတာပဲသီလဆောင်냐မလားပယ်ရွာတဲ့သီလနဲ့ပြည့်စုံတဲ့ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်ဟာချမ်းသာကြီးပွားမှုကင်းမဲ့တဲ့ဘဝဇိုးတွေပေါ့လေလူဘဝမရောက်နိုင်ဘူးလူဘဝရဲ့မြင့်တဲ့နတ်ဘဝမရောက်နိုင်ဘူးချမ်းသာကင်းမဲ့တဲ့ဘဝဇိုးတွေရောက်တတ်ပါတယ်တဲ့ဆိုပါတယ်ဒါမလို့သီလကိုမကြိုးရမညှိုးရအောင်ထိမ့်သိမ့်ဆောက်ရှော့ပါတယ်
So if basic morality is not present, then in one's life, it's as though a bad smell starts to come out of oneself. Not keeping good morality makes people disgusting, as though they smell very bad. But on the other hand, if we keep sila, it's like a very fragrant smell that, and how should I say? It also, it's like a good fragrance that people notice and comment about. So it's said that sila is like a fragrant smell, and it's also like an ornament that makes one beautiful. It's the best ornament, the best type of thing to put on, because no matter how well one is dressed, no matter how beautiful one's jewelry is, if one doesn't have moral behavior, then one won't be attractive at all. But with good morality, one looks good because of the morality. So it's said that sila makes the wearer beautiful. And people who keep sila don't go down to lower existences when they're reborn. So not keeping sila, one will go to lower realms of rebirth where there's mostly suffering. But our sila keeps us from going down. One who bears it won't go down, won't fall. So, therefore, sila is something that is a very good thing for us to rely on, and we should keep good sila.
The Kamasakata Samadhiya Nevira, Lanzungia Nevira, the Makwalita, Dana Bonya Biro, Pilia Buama, Sauni Piro, Menamangevu, Tila Piezo, no, Luboa, Mine, Naboa, Chanta, Makwevu, Taria Dora. The good Luboa Yonija Poguriha. Take down the Sao Pilira, she the Boga, Danagutu Shigalova, she a Chang Makimabu, Lua Yoda Sura Leve, Shega, Unangavati, La Pizungalova. Edelu, Kaita Mavoli, Dana di la Talo, di la Pizone Solution or a Yeme Pianama. We inside video see why you look there, come a yeme piana see why you Mahamu. Midazu, Tapagale, Sauni, she needed a year night salushi, Jaro, a young mood or a day, a year puked or a day. Rigajaro, Midazu, Sauni, Ketwavi. Eri Umali, count the Bobo, now le video volley. Yena Pianyade, Siwaya, Mahamu, Suravoli, Yakubua Maleve, Danagutu Pulo, Dilari, Pizon Lucia, di Bua Mue, Yeme Piamave. A Miatrio, Belolo Malay, Suravoli, Eda Luni Badire, Pua Mia Truffle Suragaro, Dila Lone Malolo Babu. Tilagaro, Letwe, Julosiane, Jonekama, Majulo Bene, Kone, known as Sausida. Seiko, Tamo Lodere, Seiko, Ari Tabito Tayame, Ari Piezon Babi Solution, or Kone, known as Julumbu, Welo, Senet, Omaron. The same shoe, to me, busy by zero the same shoe. Come out down the same shoe. Lay in Yajina, same Yomopo. Mui say what the same shoe. City Tanshin Dora. Tiama does say City Tanshin, Pilolo Shea, Lulu Sitata Dora. Dana Tetegaro, Lumapida de Babu, she went Tila Piezon Lucia, Lupidare, Lupidare Boma, Secretary Tanshambo, a good yogi, Pumping Wasa, Podmia Iron Lego, swimmers were shooting, really. Eddie Boma, Secretary Yautua, don't appear daily, a Buddha outside daily. Outside to appear about when Macona City came to it, Tanshandora. Swimmers are surely, sure say, Yamu Wule. Tivoma Segale, Susan Catorali, Bema Makiro Ule. Outside move, swimmers were Shumu, say Susimu. Titomio Som Kitore. In a lady, Jamoyas of Pion Josa, the Manema so second Mount Chelsea, second and second 86 Pio. Pumping was up with me, iron board, a cow, la Piluera. Eddie, say, you lady, Tansi, we don't have solution. Gonna Kuri lay out, Julubu, Welo, say, Tauma, Shito. Tashina secretary, Lulu say that at the pillar. အခုဒီမှာရှုမှတ်နေတာဟာလူစိတ်ဓာတ်ထအောင်ပေါ့လေဒီမှာရှုမှတ်နေရတဲ့သဘောပဲမိမိစိတ်တောင်းရောက်မြောက်ရောက်ရောက်ရလည်းမခတ်တော့ဘူးဒီမှာထိတ်ထားတာတခါတည်းပဲမှာ
From the point of understanding karma as our own property, kama sakata samadeti, paths diverge, paths branch out. And there's the path of dana, punya, the purifying deed of generosity, which brings about material fulfillment. And then there's the path of sila, punya, which brings us a lifetime in the human realm or the deva realm. So here we are, we're humans already, and we have enough to wear, enough to eat, we have a place to live. So we have performed these causes in the past. We aren't without having done these good deeds of dana and sila in the past. And if at this point in time we continue to only do acts of generosity plus acts of morality, we will just break even. We'll just get back what we already have, which is a lifetime as a human with enough to eat and enough materially. So this is like doing a business where we just break even. We just get back. All we have left is our capital at the end of the day. So that type of business is not worthwhile, because if in time our family needs something, then we have to dip into the capital. We don't have any profit to use, so we have to dip into the capital to take care of our family's need. And in time, our family won't be able to survive. The capital will get eaten up. So understanding this, we should see that doing dana and sila just give us back our original investment. They don't make us any profit. So how are we going to gain a profit on our lives? We need to be able to do this, and sila, morality, is not enough. Sila is controlling our physical and verbal behavior, but we still need to be able to control the mind, because otherwise we'll have thoughts of wanting to kill and so on. So in order to make the mind clean, first of all, we have to build our mental energy. We have to make the mind clean and build up the mental energies so that the thoughts of wanting to kill or wanting to steal, commit adultery, lie, take drugs and intoxicants, these become very, very far away. So we have to go from the basis of sila to working to make our mind clean. And that will make us able to have a human mentality. Our heart will be human. Sila makes us a true human being, but the training of concentration makes us able to keep our mind humane. So the yogis here, starting with the rising and the falling, observe every arising object by applying effort. And the application of effort to observe the arising object eliminates laziness. It doesn't let laziness arise. And laziness, as well as other unwholesome qualities, the first of them is laziness. And when our observation becomes steady on the object, then kilesas can't enter, defilements can't enter our mind. The mind becomes stable upon the object, and therefore it doesn't run away, it doesn't run anywhere. So these three qualities are what we develop as we apply effort to observe the arising object, starting with the rising and the falling. We have to try to do this many, many times, second after second. If in 1 second we make a noting, then in 60 minutes, in 60 seconds, in 1 minute, there will be 60 times of making the mind, of developing these qualities of effort and the observing power and stability. So if these clean mind moments occur again and again, consecutively, like in a line, then the tendencies, the thoughts of breaking sila, the thoughts of killing, stealing, and so on, become distant. And this is what the meditation we are doing is for. It is for controlling the mind.
ကြည်ဖို့တုတ်ဖို့ရအတွက်ကြစ်ထားတဲ့ကြိုးလေးတွေကြည့်ပေါ့တစ်လုံးတင်နှလုံးတင်သုံးလုံးတင်ကြိုးလေးတွေကြည့်ပေါ့အဲ့ဒီလွန်းထားတဲ့ဒီမှာအပြင်လေးတွေပဲအမြင်ကလေးတွေတစ်ခုနဲ့တစ်ခုအရွယ်စညီးရတယ်တစ်ခုကကြီးတစ်ခုကသေးဆိုမကောင်းဘူးအရွယ်စအများအပြားတော့ညီးရတယ်အဲ့ဒီအမြင်ကလေးတွေကိုလွန်းဆိုတော့လိန်တာပါပဲအဲ့ဒီလိန်ထားတဲ့အမြင်လေးတွေကိုကြည့်ရတာအဲ့မနခိုင်ကနေကြိုးတွေဖြစ်သွားတာပဲလွန်းထားတဲ့အဲမှာအမြင်လေးတွေကတစ်ခုချင်းအနေနဲ့တော့ဘာမှအားမရှိဘူးဆွဲဖြတ်လိုက်လို့ရှိရင်လွယ်လွယ်နဲ့ပြတ်သွားတာပဲအဲ့ဒီအားမရှိတဲ့ဟာလေးတွေတစ်ခုနဲ့တစ်ခုပူးကပ်သွားပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်အားမရှိတဲ့ဟာလေးနှစ်ခုပေါင်းလိုက်တဲ့ခါကျတော့အားပိုရှိလာတယ်အားရှိလာတယ်နောက်တစ်ခုပူလိုက်လို့ရှိရင်ပိုအားရှိလာတယ်နောက်ကထပ်ကပေါ့အမြင်လေးတွေပူလိုက်လို့ရှိရင်သိကိုအားရှိလာတာပဲအဲ့လိုလွန်းထားတဲ့ဟာလေးကိုကျိုးတစ်လုံးတင်နှလုံးတင်သုံးလုံးတင်ပေါ့ဒီကျိုးဆိုသိခိုင်လာတာပဲဒါလိုပဲအခုရှုစရာအာယုပေါ်ခိုင်းမှာပေါ့လေအားစိတ်တယ်ဆွေးမြဲစွာရှုတယ်ရှုရအောင်မှစိတ်ကလေးဆူဆီးပေးတယ်တစ်စက္ကန့်မှတစ်ချိန်ကြနှစ်ချိန်ကြဘာမှအားမရှိပါဘူးဒါပေမဲ့လို့ရှုမှတ်ပါများတဲ့ခါကျတော့ရှေ့နောက်ပူးကပ်ပြီးတော့ဆက်ဆက်သွားပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့အောဝဲခေါင်းလောက်အောင်ကိုပဲအားရရှိလာတာတွေ့ပါလိမ့်မယ်အဲ့ဒီကကြားလို့ရှိရင်မိမိတို့ရှုမှတ်ရတဲ့အကျိုးနားလည်ပြီးတော့မြတ်နုံတန်ဖိုးထားလာမှာပဲအဲ့ဒီခါရောက်မှလည်းယောဂီရလည်းပဲယူတည်တတ်လာပါတယ်စေးဆက်ဆက်လုပ်တတ်လာပါတယ်အဲ့ဒါနှစ်ဖက်ကကြာမှစာတွဲနဲ့လက်တွေ့နဲ့ပေါင်းစပ်ပြီးတော့ပြောပါမယ်ဒီနေ့ကတော့အချိန်ရှိသွားတော့ဒါလုံးနဲ့ပဲရကြအောင်စို့
So think of how rope is made. Now we take 1 or 2 or 3 strands and we wind strands together of fiber. So these strands, each individual one is not very strong, but we wind 1 or 2 or 3 together, and we wind them tightly so that the rope can be strong. So each individual strand doesn't have much strength in it. And if we pull apart the individual strands, we can break one of them. But when we put them together so that they're very tightly wound, and then we put another one and another one, with each additional strand that we wind together tightly, it becomes stronger and stronger. So the rope can become very strong. And it's similar when we're observing the objects. Right when the object arises, we observe it steadfastly. And each second that we do this, there's not much mental energy at all. But when one moment of observation follows another, and another, and another without a break, so that there's no gap in between, then the mind becomes very powerful, and one will gain special results, and one will come to cherish the results that come about by this continuous effort to apply the mind to observe the arising object. So Sayadawgyi will speak about this more tomorrow, but such yogis who can observe in this way observe meticulously, continuously, steadily, without a break. And Sayadawgyi will talk about this tomorrow. That's all for today. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.